What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you the golden cross and the death cross in TradingView. So you may have heard about the golden cross and death cross. They are two major technical indicators to look at. Before we even dive into what they are, let's look at Google. What do they say it is? So the golden cross, this occurs when a short-term moving average crosses over a long-term moving average to the upside. So typically you'll see this with the 200-day and the 50-day moving average. The 50 being the short term and the 200 being the long term. So what's a death cross? It's the flip side. It is technical chart pattern indicating the potential of a major sell-off. This appears when a short-term moving average crosses a long-term moving average to the downside. And again, the 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average. That is what people always look at. Whether you believe in technical analysis or not, it is part of market psychology. People see a death cross happen or see a golden cross happen, and it could really fuel the market in either direction. So it is important to know about them and also how to set it up so you can analyze them. So we're going to jump back over to TradingView. You may have a very simple layout like this. I'm going to show you how to add the golden cross and the death cross, or at least how to add the moving averages to find those crosses. But first, we're going to switch over to hollow candlesticks. I like candlesticks better than just a line chart. It tells the whole story. I feel like a line chart does not. But what we're going to do is we're going to go up here to the little FX, and this is indicators and strategy. So we want to add an indicator. We want to add moving average. If you can't find it, just type it in. Type in moving average and it'll pop up. So you're going to click on that and you're going to click on it twice. You see how I added two of them right here? So we can X out of that. And you see one line. That's just because the lines are identical. So if we start changing them, and how do we change them? You're going to go into settings. And then this will pop up. We're going to go over to inputs. We're going to make this the 200-day. So we type in 200. If we click OK, see that? Now this line is here. So that's the 200-day. But we're going to make it a little easier to see on the eyes. So we're going to go back into settings. And we're going to make it red. We want it to be aligned. We're going to go over to input. Actually, we're going to go here. See this thickness at the very bottom? So I'm going to make it that thick. I feel like, I'll make it the third, just so it's really easy to see. And then we could hit OK, and that's our 200-day. Now we're going to go to the other one, the one that says 9, the one that we haven't edited yet. We're going to go to inputs, and we're going to make this 50. And we're going to jump over to style. We'll make this like a yellowish gold kind of color. I'll stick with that yellow. Maybe one down. Yeah, I like that one. That's like a goldish kind of color. That's our 50-day. I made it nice and thick so it's easy to see. We're going to hit OK. And now it's set up. Now we have our 50-day and 200-day moving average. I'm going to save that by going up here. So now this is saved. So I don't need to just be looking at Bitcoin. I could type in Apple. So here's Apple. And then there it is. See that? We see both the 50 and 200-day moving average. So we'll stay on Apple really quick. So let's look at when the last golden cross happened. And Apple has been in a massive bull run. But right here, so right here is when the golden cross happened. And right before that, this was your death cross. So let's zoom into these to see how they work. So pretty much as the stock is going down, so here's the stock as it's going down, the 200-day moving average, that's taking the average of the past 200 days. So that's why it's not as volatile as the one that's only 50 days. So each day has much more weight on the 50 than the 200. So that's why this one has bigger up and down swings. But you can see right here, October of 2018, Apple started to have a pretty decent correction. The entire market had a pretty decent correction. And then you were wondering, hey, is this around the bottom? Well, no, because you could see the death cross was coming into play right there. So the death cross seemed to happen on this day, this big candlestick, so we could zoom in. And then that wasn't even the bottom. It then bounced a little and then went down even further. This was the bottom. And then it kind of stayed suppressed for a while. Eventually it did get back up. We're now a couple months later. We went from December. This then happened at the end of December. We have January, February, and then March. Very, very slowly going up. And then finally, but not near all-time highs. Here's all-time highs. But finally, we started to see some pretty good momentum. It did start to correct, or at least retest, but that wasn't too much of a concern because you could see this candle right here, it was already high enough above the 200-day moving average where the golden cross came into play right there. And ever since, I mean, Apple has just been pumping since 2018. Rides all the way up. Even this correction, which was the coronavirus when we first were shut down, we still didn't see death cross happen. And then Apple had its nice, lovely run up again. And we've never touched the 200-day moving average since. At least the 50-day has not touched the 200-day ever since. But you guys may be thinking the market has been completely manipulated from the Feds. Fair enough. I think the same way. So we could look at Bitcoin, which I think has a more realistic death cross and golden cross scenario. So you could see right here, we recently had a death cross, and very recently, only a couple of days ago, we had a golden cross signal. So after the market peaked at 64,000, it started to tumble. And then even right over here, people want to know if this was the bottom at 35,000. It was not. Here's a death cross. It continued to go down, kissed 29,000, and then started to bounce back up. We are not at all-time highs yet, but we did just have a golden cross. A lot of leverage. There was a lot of liquidation recently, so we are going down a little bit. But hopefully, people would hope that it would look something like this, and it'll go up and make new all-time highs. So that's the goal. Now, the thing with the golden cross and death cross is they don't always work. We saw a couple of scenarios where they did work. And if you look right here, here's another great scenario of the golden cross coming to fruition. So after this dump, it started to go back up, trying to make new all-time highs. Right here, we see a golden cross. That was May of 2020. And then we just pumped Bitcoin all the way up ever since. But now if we look at this death cross, really not the best signal. This death cross and then this golden cross really didn't play out how they were supposed to. We got a golden cross right here, and you can see the market continued to plummet. Plummet so much that the golden cross hardly even lasted, where we got a death cross only a few days later. But as soon as that death cross happened, then we started to pump again. So this just proves that technical analysis may say one thing. It doesn't necessarily mean the stocks need to, or crypto need to follow what's supposed to happen. But if we look back in time, here's a death cross, and it did start to go down, and it stayed down for a couple of months. Here's a golden cross, and this was a beautiful entry at about 5,000, went all the way up to 13,000. So that golden cross did play out pretty well. So pretty much what I want you to take away from this video is don't always trust what the indicators say, but if you want to take educated guesses that may not always work out, these are one of the best indicators, one of the best technical analysis to look at. Here we go, another death cross happening right here. And we had a massive bear market just keep going down until this golden cross happened. So this was after the last bull market in 2017, where we hit 20,000, then started to go down. Hopefully you were out of it before this death cross came into play, or at least you weren't buying, especially when you saw that death cross. And then it kept plummeting down to 6,000, then all the way down to 3,000. And if you were to take any indicator, whether this bear market's over or not, this golden cross was one of the best times to enter. Right there, that was April, and that's when we had that beautiful run up before any halvings or anything like that. It's just really nice run up really quickly. But I think that pretty much sums up your death cross and your golden cross, how to make them, how to find them, and how to trade them. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Do you use technical analysis like this, or do you use other technical analysis? If so, drop the comments below. Let me know what your favorite technical analysis is. And if you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, check out all my other videos, and guys, as always, I will see you in the next one.